because of that. So that's everything you need to become a found money professional. But I want to throw in a couple big bonuses too. Okay, first, as soon as you register, you're going to get your very own website at abandonedproperty.org, which our staff's going to customize for you according to your information. Now, you can either leave it there at the abandonedproperty.org site, or for less than $10, you can buy your own domain name, and we'll put the website there. And plus, you can get email accounts when you purchase a domain name. So even if you don't have a company set up yet, but you plan to register something like Jones Asset Recovery LLC as a company name sometime in the future, you could get jonesassetrecovery.com for under $10, and we'll host your site there. And then you also have email addresses set up at that address, like bill@jonesassetrecovery.com. Okay, so you'll be looking professional right out the gate. Now, bonus number 2. Some of our past trainees have said that this bonus was actually the most valuable part of the training to them. And when you register tonight, you're going to get unlimited 24/7 access to our private member forum. Now, as you can see, there's hundreds of posts on each topic there right now, each step of the training, ready for you to review now, and you can ask all your questions and share all your successes with a lot of sharp trainees that we have in there, including some of those who copied us on those big checks I just showed you. And plus, my partner Joe, Maggie, and I are always in there answering all your questions on the forum or by private email if you have a private question. It's just really a great community to be part of. So you've seen how several students have made tens of thousands of dollars in this business in just their first few months. And I'm not even going to attempt to put a price tag on the value of each piece of the training and the support you're going to get. I'm sure it would sound ridiculous. You know, just putting together those 50 state guides and all the paperwork we provide alone costs us many $1,000s, and that's allowed a lot of our past trainees to make many $1,000s their first month in the business. And then add that step-by-step training, the website, the forum, all that other stuff. I think the package is a steal at $39.97. In fact, that's what we had originally planned on charging for that training. But we're not going to do that. We're opening up 37 more seats in the training today, and it's not $4,000, but yes, it is a significant investment. And it's been proven to make several students $4,000 or even much more in their very first month and tens of thousands in the following months. Now, we don't want to sell you a course and leave you hanging. We want to be your mentors in this business. And that's why we developed the complete Hooked on Overages online training and membership site where you're going to get all your materials from. You won't even have to wait for our package to arrive in the mail to get started. And you can stay involved for months or even years to come, working with us directly in the forums and always learning of the latest developments that we're discovering almost daily, even learning from other training students from this training, from the past sessions. You're going to get access to that quick start guide, summaries of all 12 steps of the program right out the gate, as well as that 50 state guide to overages and 50 state guide to public records access law. And that way you can get out of the gate quickly and get your first claim signed up in as little as a couple weeks or less, just like Jay did. And once you put this material into action, you're going to have some good days at the P.O. Box. And what do we mean by that around here? We mean monster checks arriving in the mail. You know, imagine how it would feel to open your P.O. Box and find not one, but 2 5-figure checks waiting for you right there in the same envelope. That happened to me just before our first training in June. And as you can see, this was even a better day at the P.O. Box. Well, it's been 2 years now, not last year anymore. Almost 55 grand came in on that just that one check from 2008. Now, that big one's from 2008, and some of the other ones I showed you were from the spring, but we're still active in the business, and we're always learning new techniques we're going to share with you. And here's a check that we got just before Thanksgiving. So we don't want to give up our checks either. We're going to stay in the business, and we're going to be right alongside you as you go. So we want to be your mentors. That means staying active in those forums and posting our latest business techniques on the blog, which is part of the site. So we can only take a limited number of students in order to provide that to everybody. And so we're releasing 37 spots in the training tonight, and they're each $16.97. And I'm positive that if you put the information you're given into action, you could recoup that entire amount in your first month in this business. And how sure am I that you can make profits right away? I have no doubt in my mind that you can, and I'm willing to take all the risks that you're going to succeed. So get into the training today, and I'll guarantee your satisfaction with it, or I'll give you your money back at any time in the first 30 days. And this isn't one of those guarantees where you have to prove anything to us. It's unconditional. Just return the money. Return the training, and we'll return your money right away. All right, so get one of those 37 seats that's available right now by going to duncan.hooktraining.com. That's duncan.hooktraining.com.
Hey, Rick, I have
Yes.
quite a few questions, if I can jump in here.
Sure.
And this one is from Dan. There's both written questions and live questions. So Dan
Okay.
Hark asked, with the increasing popularity of website listings, unclaimed property and funds, including some sponsored by state governments, wouldn't most overages be listed there?
Yeah, that's a great question. And the important distinction here is county funds versus state funds.
Mm-hmm.
The states usually have an incentive to advertise their funds on websites and such because the states never get to permanently seize those funds. They just sit there and languish, and so they advertise them. And as I showed earlier, they all have websites and things like that. These counties usually only hold on to the funds on behalf of the claimant for a few years, and then they get to keep those funds.
Mm-hmm.
So they're not very motivated to advertise those or follow along with technology and post those on their website. So
Okay.
it does make it it would be nice if they somehow posted them on their website so we could easily find them, but the fact that they don't is good because it's very difficult for the claimants to find these funds.
Okay, and then a question from Anthony Pazzi is, can you make bigger profits with commercial overages?
We don't really discriminate what type of overages it is. They're usually all lumped together. If a foreclosure or a tax sale happens, we don't even really know what kind of property that was that created that overage.
Okay.
So, yeah, sure. In a rare case, a commercial property goes through a tax sale and there's a big overbid. That's
Mm-hmm.
probably where those huge ones come from that I've seen for $998,000. Those are very rare. So that probably
Okay.
was a commercial property.
So Myrna asked, in the case of Massachusetts, what do you do for overages then? I mean, how come they don't have overages?
About half the states out there just don't have tax sale overages. The way they do their tax sale, they just don't have bidding. So none are created there. But as I was talking about earlier, that doesn't stop you because whether you were working in your state or not, you're not even going to run around your own state trying to get these overages. You're going to request them by mail in your own state. So why not request them in other states that do have the tax sale overages? They all come in by email, phone, and mail, stuff like that. So you don't have to work your home state. In fact, you're probably not even going to want to start working on your home state.
Okay, and then Robert Dockman asked, what do you do to make the claim funds payable to your company instead of your client?
That's a great question. Sometimes you can get the counties to make the check out to your firm, but if they want to make it out to the claimant, that's just fine. We'll just have them send it to us. They can make it out to the claimant, and we'll just use our power of attorney that I mentioned earlier to endorse and cash that check.
Okay, and then from Brian D.J., what additional paperwork, resident or post office box requirements, legal forms, etc., are required for Canadian citizens and residents to effectively implement this business?
Okay, that's a pretty good question. I'm not sure I'm 100% on that. I wish I had one of my international students here, but to the extent you can get things by email, that obviously doesn't affect you as far as getting the list. And I'm sure there are mailing services that you can find in the United States that can receive your mail. And if you get lists by mail or checks by mail, they can, maybe scan and email those to you or something like that for a minimal amount. And then everything else is really done by phone and FedEx or mail. The only thing I'm not positive about is how you're going to get a bank account here, but I know a lot of our students in the training have, and I've seen them talking about it. We actually have an international section in the forum, so that'd be very useful for you if you needed to work out any kinks.
Okay, guys, I have taken questions via the chat module. I can see if you raise your hand on your control that I can have it go live, and I have a live question, I think, from Kit. If you're still there, I'm going to unmute you. I hope. Oh, I hope I didn't boot him off. I think I might have done that. Okay, well, guys, use the chat window to ask your question if you have any more. Rick, I just really want to take this time to thank you. Steve Craver says, as the typical real estate question, is that the best you can do on the price?
Steve, that is a great question. You know why? You guys are going to think that we staged this or something, but I'm actually able to let you get in for as little as $397 out of pocket if you go to that site, Duncan.com.